Dung, A Beetle Tale by Frank Weber. At first light, a dung beetle thanked the sun for its warm rays. He walked to the bottom of the hill and listened to the gurgling river. Then he raised his arms to the sky and waited, grateful for whatever he might receive. Splat! The beetle packed the dung into a ball and pushed it homeward. Whenever he lost his way, he was guided home by the sun and the night sky. And when a challenger appeared, he wrestled to keep his dung ball. At the top of the hill, the beetle stopped to marvel at the magnificence and mystery of the endless forest. He was smacking on his dung ball when a leopard interrupted. "Why do you toil so, tiny dung beetle?" asked the leopard. "You work so hard for so little." "So it is," replied the beetle. "I don't have much, but the forest always provides enough." "That might be," said the leopard. "But I have seen a farm at the end of the valley with more dung than any beetle could dream of." When the beetle awoke the next morning, his ball of dung seemed smaller somehow, and for the first time he wondered whether it really was enough. "Never mind," he said, and pushed his dung ball, but it was stuck. He gave the dung ball a mighty shove. It tumbled downhill and plunged into the river. From the cliff, the beetle saw a farm gleaming at the end of the valley like a dark jewel. He left the sunny hillside that morning. He traveled by day and at night. The farm was enormous and frightening, but the beetle raised his arms to the sky and waited. Splat! Whap! Plop! The beetle soon had more dung than he knew what to do with. He put other beetles to work, collecting dung day and night, and his pile grew bigger and bigger. He stood, watch over his workers, making sure that no one stole from him. No matter how much he had, the beetle wanted more. His empire grew even larger. Sometimes the beetle longed for his sunny hilltop, and he wondered if he could ever find his way home. But when he looked up, he could no longer see the sun or the night sky. One day, the gigantic pile trembled and shivered, and a tiny nugget of dung sprang loose. The earth shook as the nugget turned into an avalanche. The beetle's empire collapsed in a roar, and everything turned black. Trapped in the dark, the beetle ached for his sunny hilltop and gurgling river. All that was lost to him now. He stopped struggling and closed his eyes. But it was so dark he couldn't tell whether his eyes were closed or not. Suddenly, a pinprick of light appeared, and bit by bit, the darkness vanished. As his workers made off with the last of his dung, the beetle sat up. He scampered from the cowshed and found his way by the stars and the moon. He hurried on, and the sunlight guided him. The next morning, the beetle thanked the sun for its warm rays. He marveled at the boundless forests and the river below. "Magnificent," he said. "So it is," said the leopard. the beetle arrived at the riverside and raised his arms to the sky. The end. Thank you, friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe.